Hi, I'm Kristen from Wicked Goodies. In this video, I'm going to zoom all the way in on the topic of copying when it comes to cake designs. Thanks to all your input last week, I feel that I can do a more thorough job on this topic. Once again, I'll be here to help. I'm going to explain the difference between what's illegal, what's unethical, and what's perfectly fine. I've broken it all down into this thing that I call the cake copying ethics scale. So on this end of the scale, we have things that can get you into a legal jam. On the other end, we have all good things. Let's start on this end. It is against the law to sell cakes that depict trademarked characters like this or this without first getting permission from the trademark owner. Disney, in particular, has been known to crack down on bakeries. And when they do, the punishment is a whopper fine. So if you have photos like this up on your website, then I recommend taking them down and letting future customers know that it's against the law for you to do this sort of thing. Now, there's one exception called the first sale doctrine. If you purchased something from the trademark owner, like a licensed figurine or a deco pack template, then you can sell a character cake without obtaining permission. The reason why this is okay is because then the trademark owner receives a royalty on your sale. It is against the law to use someone else's photo without their permission. When I say use, I mean copying and pasting it onto your personal blog or website or brochure or other marketing materials. Your photos, my photos, everyone's cake photos and logos are automatically copyright protected. That means the majority of photos that you find online when you do an image search are not up for grabs. Even when there is no watermark or the link is broken so you can't find the source, the copyright still holds. In the US, laws do not require the creator to include a copyright notice on their material. And copyrights are good for the life of the creator plus 70 years. Or if the creator is unknown, the copyright remains good for 95 years from its original date of publication. So unless you're watching this video in the year 2086, in which case, hello. The safe bet is to assume that all the images you find on the internet are copyright protected. In case you are still considering risking the idea of straight up using someone else's photo, let me warn you that bakers who've been around for a while tend to recognize each other's work. The cake community essentially polices itself when it comes to this sort of thing. So by pinching the photo, you are not only breaking copyright law, but you could end up dealing with an angry online mob of bakers. And let me tell you that pissed off bakers are frickin' scary people who do not get enough sleep. Believe it or not, copying someone else's cake design without their permission is also an act of copyright infringement. If your version of the design is identical or nearly identical to the original, and the original is exceptionally unique, then there's no question about it. If your version is derivative, as in kind of similar, then it gets into this murky gray area where it may or may not be okay. Here's what you need to know. If you're copying a design for educational purposes, meaning to practice a technique, and you don't share the photos online, then that's fine. But if you're running a blog or a business, then you have to take the law into account. So if you want to clone a design or your customer insists that you clone a design, then technically you have to contact the original artist and ask for their permission to do so. Another solution, as a few of you pointed out, is to tell the customer that you are willing to use the design as inspiration, but you'll have to put your own creative spin on it. I recommend being very matter-of-fact about this. Sorry, I don't copy other artists. The key word is artists. Most people can understand why it's weird to copy someone else's art. However, I would be happy to incorporate some of your favorite ideas into your cake. If the customer is reluctant to agree on this, then there are a couple of ways that you can put a positive spin on the idea. You can sell the idea that their cake will be a one-of-a-kind, wicked awesome masterpiece. And together, you are going to figure out exactly how to make it unique. You can sell the idea that you will surprise them with a unique element that will be revealed on the day of the party. Not being able to locate the source of a cake design does not absolve you from the responsibility of honoring the copyright. In other words, you still can't clone that cake. So if you've gone ahead and cloned the design anyway, then it's best not to share photos of it on your website or social media. But keep in mind that if you did a spectacular job, then guests at the party are very likely to share photos of their own. If you can't resist sharing a photo because you're so happy with your work that it's killing you to hold it in, then it helps to add a caption like, "Not my original design, can't find the source." So when you pay money for a book or instruction, you're paying for the lesson, not for ownership of the copyright. That means the content within the book or the course material are still copyright protected under the instructor's name. So for example, I bought this book, I paid money for it, but that doesn't mean that I can copy the text and paste it into my website as if it were mine. That would be plagiarism. Well, the same thing goes for pictures and original cake designs, even if it's a how-to book. Now, of course, cake designers who sell books and classes expect students to copy their work. But when you share photos like that in a public forum, like online, you are obligated to cite the source. We also have a kind of moral responsibility to cite a source when a book or a class or even a free tutorial is involved, because it's to the benefit of all future bakers who might be interested in learning some aspect of that design. So if you fail to cite the source, then you've broken the chain linking back to the instructions. Let's say a handful of brides find that photo on Pinterest and take it to their wedding cake bakers. Then all those bakers will miss out on the opportunity to access the instructions, which means one or two of those brides might get a cake that could have been better, and you know what that means. So for the sake of all brides and bakers out there, don't break the chain. The same goes for the stuff that you pin on Pinterest. When you pin cakes on Pinterest, try to make sure that it links directly back to the original designer, not to some website that aggregates content, but straight to the bakery or blog that created the work. If you can't find it, you can't find it. But sometimes it's as easy as revising the link or doing a quick image search. Every link that goes from Pinterest to a baker's website helps their search rankings. So if all bakers commit to preserving each other's links, then everyone stands to gain from it. Now, if you're mashing up a bunch of ideas, then you're creating something original, which is not copyright infringement. Finally, we're out of the danger zone. But I should add that you never have anything to lose by crediting the artists who inspired you. Here are 4 reasons why it's always good to add a linked attribution. 1, because search engines account for your outbound link activity. Your links help the robots that crawl your site read it better. So Google will favor your website if you connect to other similar websites. 2, because it's a networking opportunity. It gives the creator a chance to follow you back on social media and possibly even mention or retweet your work. It's no guarantee, but it's really fun when it happens. 3, because it's an act of reciprocity. It's a way of thanking the person who taught you something or introduced an idea that improved your own body of work. 4, because acknowledging the work of a fellow artist is like giving a compliment. It is a scientifically proven fact that the simple act of giving a compliment releases endorphins in both the giver and the receiver. All right, so did I cover everything? If you think I did, then please give it a thumbs up and share this video with your baker friends. If you have any questions or ideas to add to this discussion, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Some of the material in this video came from sources. I have listed them below. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Boom.